The first glitch was so small that Ethan almost convinced himself it never happened. He was walking home from work, watching the traffic lights shift from red to green, when for a brief instant, the world flickered like an old television screen. The sky dimmed, the sounds of the city cut out, and then everything snapped back. Nobody else seemed to notice. The pedestrians kept scrolling on their phones. Cars drove forward. A child dropped an ice cream cone. Ethan laughed nervously, blaming his overworked mind, but the unease lingered. The second glitch was harder to ignore. He woke up one morning to find his coffee mug already on the counter, full, steaming, and in his favorite shade of blue. Except, his favorite mug had shattered weeks ago. He stared at it, touched the smooth ceramic, even drank from it, but when he left the kitchen and returned, the mug was gone. In its place, shards lay on the floor exactly as he remembered. That night, he lay awake, feeling like the air itself was humming faintly, as though hidden wires ran through the world. Soon, the glitches multiplied. People would repeat the same sentence twice in identical tone, as if caught in a loop. Buildings appeared slightly taller one day and shorter the next. A co-worker of his, Maya, walked into the office in the morning, only for Ethan to watch her walk in again, moments later, wearing the exact same clothes and greeting the receptionist with the same words. When he asked her about it, she looked at him blankly, as if he were speaking nonsense. Ethan tried to dismiss it, but deep inside he knew something was wrong. He began keeping notes, times, places, details, filling an entire notebook with strange occurrences. He noticed that glitches always happened around the same hour, usually when he was alone or watching carefully. It was as though reality stumbled, corrected itself, then moved on. One night, while working late in his apartment, his computer froze mid-typing. The screen flickered, and then lines of green code scrolled across it. They weren't random, they were commands. In between the strings of numbers, he saw words: system instability, user awareness detected. His blood ran cold. The moment he blinked, the code vanished, replaced by his unfinished document as though nothing had happened. But he couldn't unsee it. Determined, Ethan tested the world. He dropped a pen, and sometimes it bounced twice before hitting the ground again, as though reality tried to replay it. He touched his hand to the wall and felt it soften for a fraction of a second. Like clay, he spoke out loud, demanding answers, but the silence that followed felt heavy, as if someone or something was listening. Then came the collapse. One afternoon, walking through the park, the world froze, leaves stopped mid-fall, dogs hung in the air mid-jump, children suspended in laughter. Everything was perfectly still, except Ethan. His breath echoed in the silence. He walked among frozen figures, shaking them, shouting, but nothing moved. A chill crept over him as he realized he alone was outside whatever rules governed this reality. Then, with a sound like glass shattering, the world restarted, and everyone moved again, none of them aware they'd been frozen. That night, his computer activated by itself, displaying a message: simulation error, do not attempt awareness, correction imminent. Ethan's lights flickered, his walls bent like fabric in the wind, and he felt himself being pulled, stretched between two layers of existence. He screamed, clinging to the desk, but his hands passed through it like smoke. The next morning, he woke in a place that looked almost identical to his apartment but slightly wrong. The colors too bright, the air too sterile, the silence too heavy. Outside the window, the city stretched endlessly, with no horizon, just repeating patterns of streets and buildings, and on the wall above his desk, burned into the plaster as if written by fire, were the words: simulation reset successful, previous subject deleted. Ethan felt his chest tighten. He touched his arm, his face, searching for proof of his own existence. In the corner of the room, he noticed his notebook, the one he had filled with all the glitches, but every page was blank, except for the last one. On it, in his own handwriting, were 4 words that chilled him more than anything else. You were the glitch.